insights, the debates, the conversations that we have here on stage, very insightful, but again, we couple that with the conversations that are happening elsewhere. Lots of conversations that I've heard, again, lots of people have been speaking to me, and the conversations I've had with other people as well, really giving their insight and their vibe of really what's happening over these last few days. Very inspirational indeed. Right, we are moving on now to a topic, for many, when I say this topic, you will think it has nothing to do with blockchain world. But let me tell you, it has everything to do with blockchain world. And that topic is very simple, simply a word, one word, 3 letters, starts with S, it's got an E in it, and it's sex. Now I can see some faces, some eyes lit up as I say that, and quite a few smiles, and maybe a little bit of excitement in certain parts of the room as well. But I'm going to stop there and not say anything more and let the next 2 people on stage take over and talk about that subject. As you'll see, as you'll hear, and as you'll know, the names of these 2 people, basically we have the Crypto Granny and the Blockchain Papa. The Crypto Granny and the Blockchain Papa. And that indicates that these 2 people certainly have experience in sex. I will say, clapping. Are you clapping? Is that, you can't wait. Nor can I. I'm intrigued as much as you all are as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage 2 people who are going to talk about the birds, the bees, and all things crypto and blockchain. The Crypto Granny and the Blockchain Papa.
Different order though, yeah.
There we are, Blockchain Papa. Well, welcome. You can take a seat. You can stand, sit, whatever you want. I see your strong legs looking. Here's the thing, Crypto Granny. We met a couple of years ago, I think, actually 2018,
yes,
in Malta.
We did.
And I must say, Crypto Granny, you are looking as young as ever.
Thank you so much.
And with that, I will leave you.
Oh, thank you so much. I shoot a little video to my kids. Actually, they don't believe that I'm on this big stage. It's the size of Wembley, right? So I hope you enjoy our show. Crypto Granny and Papa Blockchain Sofa Session. Please go ahead.
Yes, and I have to say that was quite impressive to come in the way we did, and I can't help like saying, I wish world peace. Right? Isn't that what you say when you come to a stage like this? Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy to see so many of you here still present. There is a nice presentation following ours, but now it's time for sofa session with Crypto Granny and...
Somehow they took off your personal slide. I don't know why, I don't know what's happening here. Can we have some technical support, please? Oh. The slide number 2 up. There you go.
Well, here we are. So let's start by introducing ourselves, and I think it goes like ladies first. Okay?
Ladies first, of course.
So my name is Anita Kalergis. I'm a sales and marketing person to my heart and soul. That's what I've been doing all my life, and I love it. The last years I've been acting as a business consultant, helping companies to establish their business to new regions, and in MENA region the past years. So who is Crypto Granny? Well, Crypto Granny is me, the non-tech lady who got enthusiastic and excited some years back about this new technology we were told about. The technology that was transparent, secure, and that would provide trust to all of us. I started to ask questions to these actors and players in the space and scene, challenging them, because at the time when I got enthusiastic about this, there was a lot of tech talk. And most of the talks were done in a manner and in a way that I really didn't understand what they were exactly doing or saying. So I found out very quickly that it was necessary to ask my all-time favorite question, why? Why are you doing this? why do you exist, why do you need all this money, and whatever that might have been. In the end, I saw the desperation in the eyes of the opponent person I was talking to, like, is she never gonna understand what we are doing? So that's how Krypto Granny was starting to act in the space, interviewing a lot of people. And I was also invited to events like back home to Finland, where we both actually originally come from. And there in the meeting where I was participating together with Consensus Association people, with Bitcoin maximalists, younger guys, and some other people. At the time, 2018, I was really excited about to become a grandmother for the very first time. I was all about it. And after this meeting, these youngsters, they came back to me and said, isn't it cool that a lady of your age is so excited about the new technology? And in this, what you do, you need a brand. So we came up with my name, Krypto Granny, or my brand name, Krypto Granny. And if you pay attention, I write it with the K to be connected to back home, where in Finnish we write Krypto with a K.
Right, and as we all can see, there is a lovely logo of Anita's, aka Krypto Granny. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, well, I'm especially proud about my logo, to be very honest. I have no gift whatsoever in drawing anything, but this is something I have done myself. The guys again, Consensus Network, Nico was the one who said, when you're a Krypto Granny, so cool thing, your brand needs a logo. And I was laughing like, oh, who needs a logo? I mean, come on. Anyway, after a couple of months, I came up with this idea. What do you do when you go meet your granny? Probably she has prepared some tea or coffee for you, so the coffee cup was like an automatic choice. At the antique pink background with the antique font and hot drink, there is steam. So the steam here, if you pay attention, that is in binaries. And actually Nico wrote Krypto Granny into this binary, so it also says Krypto Granny. So it's a cool logo and I'm really proud of it. It's my own design. But so much about me and Krypto Granny. So who are you, Papa?
Well, originally also from Finland, 15 years in UAE, in Dubai, mainly. Named Pekka Kelkka, also known as Papa Blockchain. And you see also a logo on this slide. And unfortunately, it's not my personal logo, but anybody in the audience, do you recognize this logo? Raise your hand if you do. Right. Amar in the front line actually does at least. Well, this logo has a very important role on my professional career. It's a logo of Netscape, the first commercial internet browser, launched in 1994. I started my online company same year, so I've been online since the early days of internet. First building websites, then from there to integration, legacy systems and databases to browser technology. From there onwards to developing mobile applications. And that time, it was like early 2000, 3G was just around the corner. And we were waiting and waiting for these Nokias and Motorola's and anybody there who was building these networks come out with the solution, and they didn't manage to do that. It took approximately 7 years when we had actually the real functioning 3G with us, so timing was not perfect for us that time and for me, but nevertheless, that's my experience. And also early days of internet, we're hearing these same stories that we hear today. Internet is for scammers, it's for drug money, it's for terrorist money. Same what we hear about blockchain cryptos. But I've been there, I know how it works, and everybody today, you know where we are. You are clicking your mobile phones, tens or hundreds times a day. When you go home, you open Netflix, you maybe see some movies or whatever. You are online, you are on internet. But that's centralized. Blockchain and cryptos will decentralize the same environment, which means that we will be much more dependent on what we want to do there and controlling the environment instead of Facebooks and Amazons and these people controlling the network. So Papa Blockchain actually started approximately 6 years ago when I really understood and started to get involved with this technology, and I changed my Instagram handle from my real name to Krypto Trader Baba Blockchain.
Crypto trader? Why crypto trader? You're no trader, I know you so long.
Well, yes, actually I need to tell you one thing. Anita and myself, we are not traders, we are hodlers. Anybody heard about the word hodling, hodler?
Yes, there is someone who knows. Do you know the story
okay.
behind?
You guys know? If not all of you know that, it's actually kind of one of these most important meme words, buzzwords in blockchain crypto technology. In 2013, actually 16th of December 2013, there was a very active writer on Bitcoin chat site that time, and he and this another big dip on Bitcoin. Think of this. Bitcoin dipped from 200 to 20. From 220, crazy dip. And he was warning everybody. He started writing his article, I am hodling, on capital letters. I am hodling. And since those days, when you hold your coins, Bitcoins or any other coins, as we do, we are hodling. Not holding, but hodling. So if you understand this, and you will not sell your tokens, you also hodler like we are.
So, how did this all start? Ethereum white paper. We've been colleagues for years and years, and I remember when he started to talk about white paper. Again, another phrase or a word that I have no clue what that was. Ethereum white paper, this and that, and it's so amazing, whatever. So tell me what happened.
Late 2016, I found this document online, Ethereum white paper. And I really got hooked up with this. Since those days, I've been full-time on blockchain and cryptos. Why? First time in the history of mankind, there is an environment where you don't need any middleman on transactions. There's most advanced computer code removing anything in between those transacting parties. That was an amazing thing. Of course, we had that only on Bitcoin, but now there's also application which is called smart contract, allowing you not just to do the money transaction, money value transaction, but any other transaction you can imagine, code it on the smart contracts. Amazing. I got hooked up, I didn't sleep, I didn't eat in 3 months. I call that time Ethereum diet. Quite powerful, but I don't recommend that to anybody. And also those days, I tracked her to these meetups in UAE and Dubai.
Yes, and one of the things that was really, really amazing, especially if there's any newbies out there, this is a tip for you. If you want to learn more, the meetups, especially here happening in the UAE, they are very educational and very, very informative. So this was something that we started with. I had a lot of questions, I didn't understand half of what was going around me, but I was so curious to learn more. So all these meetups, and I think the first ones we attended was Planet Blockchain organized. Amazing, and also networking, and there is so many people out there in the audience today that we have met already around 2018 when we participated in these meetups. And also from there, you started educating people, and I have been moderating events all around the globe so far.
Already those days I was holding my mic. So, but then you met someone, one of those meetups.
Yes, I met a Chinese lady with the project, and the discussions one led to another, and she wanted to hire me as their operational manager for Europe. And at the time in spring 2018, she needed me to move to Malta. Honestly, I didn't even know where I was heading. A small tiny island in the Mediterranean part of EU, that was all I knew. But what amazing was that this gaming island, companies from gambling and gaming, most of them were in Malta, had just announced themselves to become the blockchain island. So what we are experiencing now in UAE was happening 2018 and 19 in Malta. The whole world was coming that way, and that gave an amazing opportunity to connect, to network for a lot of big names. And I was fortunate enough to meet a lot of them in Malta. Eman Pulis with his AI Blockchain Summit, Abdallah Kaplan with Delta Summit, Sigma Summit, and so many more. So at the time, Malta was the place to be. In a similar way today, we are here in UAE. And here in the pictures, these are just few of the persons I've been talking to, the ones I have been interviewing. You see surely familiar faces there. Zizi and me, Zizi from Binance, we met first time in Malta. There is a lot of familiar faces. Rip, John McAfee, amazing character. I got to talk to him and his wife in Malta as well. I was first time introduced to Dr. Marwan Al-Zarouni from Dubai Blockchain Center in Malta, and the picture over there is actually when we met for the first time ever in an event arranged by Karm Legal Advisors with the lead of their CEO, Ms. Kokila, and so many others. But on your left-hand side, on the upper corner, I'm standing there. The Leo Vegas logo is up on the photo with the gentleman. Does anyone recognize who he is?
He probably was here last weekend. Most obviously, he was here last weekend.
While in Abu Dhabi, I have to ask. Well, his name is Mika Häkkinen. He's the former Formula 1 driver from Finland back home. He's one of the ambassadors to one of these gaming companies, and probably he will be soon also in Dubai participating in all these events.
And not just any Formula 1 driver, double world champion from Finland.
Sure. Inelo mesa kanispo milayelenika. No Greeks, right?
Okay.
The picture that is missing from here, the only person I've never met in person is Andreas Antonopoulos. I'm certain you all know who he is. He is the guy who was there already when we were all starting to learn about blockchain and cryptos. I have had the honor to introduce Antonis in Greek. So that is one of the languages I speak, and I wanted to challenge him in a bit different way than anyone else. So my introduction of Andreas in my interview is done in Greek language. But Papa, while I was busy in Malta introducing or interviewing all these many people, what was going on here in Dubai?
Okay, another slide missing. Hello, technical support. It's coming up now. Actually, let's go a little bit back now. Let's go to last quarter of 2017 and 2018. And you named that time a particular way. How do you say this?
Well, I have named the 2018 the ICO, Initial Coin Offering, Horror Year, because the enthusiasm and excitement in front of this new technology was so overwhelming in the very beginning. But then all these scams were out there in 2018, and I was so disappointed when the people with the tech know-how utilized the opportunity for all these scams. But I am also aware of that you have very different view on the very same thing.
Well, not entirely, but we need to understand that decentralized ledger technology is really difficult to implement. And these guys that time, they didn't have any references. They were good programmers on centralized environments, on-site implementations, but making this decentralized was a nightmare. 100 times more difficult than doing something centralized. And that's why most of these projects, actually 90% of these projects, they failed. But simultaneously, very good projects managed to raise funds to develop their great platforms that they have now up and running. And these platforms, these blockchain protocols, are big companies. They are big compared to any kind of IT business in the world. Here is two examples of them. Chainlink, which is a platform to combine the outside blockchain data to blockchain data, making sure that everything is correct and as it should be, price feeds and everything. Then the right-hand side there is Uniswap, which is the first decentralized exchange, first decentralized marketplace trading platform for cryptocurrencies. And they collected enough money in 2017 and 18 to build these great platforms that we are now enjoying. And then, Anita, you have one favorite on the same way.
Yes, and this is the one. Anyone here knows what AAVE means? That is Finnish language as well. It means ghost. So here I am interviewing Stani Kulechov. He is the founder of AAVE, at the time Eve Lend. And I have placed the Finnish flag here because obviously in this space as we are, and very correctly, it's no man's, no nationalities, no home countries, and so on and so forth. But Granny's blue and white heart, I just had to ask Stani, could I call that AAVE is a Finnish project? I mean, after all, he's from Finland. And he kind of gave me the permission that, okay, Granny, you may say that we come from Finland. And in the same picture here, we have also AAVE Kochi, which I believe is one of the, if not the first, but one of the first NFTs. So I probably, can call myself like an early investor in NFTs after talking to Stani.
So, Granny, this makes you an OG on NFTs.
What is OG?
OG? Anybody OG? Oh yes, original gangster. That's who she is on NFTs. Right, and that time I was here educating people, giving these meetups and met companies and some individuals and groups who wanted to understand blockchain, also opportunities to invest in this. I'm not a licensed or regulated investment advisor, so I keep it there and leave it there. But as you see, venues were full house almost every time. So people were hungry to understand what this is, even already 2018. And then, next slide please, okay. And while you were outside UAE, like living, but you visited quite often UAE.
Yes, and one of the advantages I had with my Chinese principal, we were traveling the world, and wherever we went, she wanted companies to come and pitch to her. So they had the funds and then they had the technology there, so they were offering all these services to different kind of companies. And here is a couple of events we arranged here in UAE, and another picture with a lot of familiar faces from here, just I think showcasing how active UAE has always been in many various ways, and the events have been always, big time events here. And the projects, there were so many. All kinds, property, education, you name it, a lot. And, well, you were on the education part so much.
Education. Yeah, that's the. But practically, I'm a master of education by my education, so it's on my DNA more or less. 2018, 19, yes. Already that time, I tried to explain to people the differences between different protocols like Bitcoin, proof of work, and that time, and still on the same protocol, same consensus mechanism, which is called proof of work, Ethereum, but rushing now towards the new, more energy efficient consensus mechanism, which is called proof of stake. The slide on the left-hand side explains that already 2018. So I try to educate people to understand these opportunities that time. And then, of course, we had really great people with us over that time, and they're still with us. And one of the core guys, like real OG, original gangster, hardcore original gangster, also on stage quite many times in this event, George Sebastian. George came from security side and data center side to blockchain, and now he's advising and involved with tens and tens of great blockchain projects. He's really, as I said, hardcore OG in this scene.
And when you listen to Papa here, you probably already understand why cryptogranning is needed. Someone needs to come here and tell okay, so proof of this and proof of that, and that kind of consensus mechanism, something else kind of a mechanism, whatever. So someone needed to be out there and just tell the guys please talk in a way that we can all understand. Because obviously the projects were very ambitious and sometimes technically very challenging. So why and how would I want to invest in something unless I really understand? So make questions, ask questions, and expect to be answered. That is a very, very important takeaway from what we have learned until today.
Right, and here's an example on the left-hand side, one of these very ambitious projects. They tried to build, or in 2018, a drone blockchain system which even can take humans to one place to another, flying them over cities. But of course, the blockchain technology was not so mature that time, not mature enough to handle these kind of things, number of transactions per second, and also security and all these things were not on the place. But these guys were pioneers, and they are developing still further these same protocols and same projects. And on right hand side, it's a very important thing for all of us. One of the reasons you are here, you are the early adopters of this great thing as blockchain and cryptos. We are here to take this to mainstream. You are here because you are interested in this. You go home, you explain the great examples of Crypto Granny, how she joined this and how she enjoys every day being on this. Same with me. You are interested in this. We take this to the mainstream, and also because of we have so many good applications, services coming up, and a little bit more about on next slides.
And do remember something that has been said many times already during yesterday and today. Less than 1% of the population of the entire globe is involved with blockchain and cryptos as we speak. So we are in the very early stage, and there is so much to be adapted. So much to be learned. So just join the revolution and be part of the party. And yes, we are just in the very beginning of all of this.
Anita, cryptos and China, you have huge experience when it comes to this. Blockchain, cryptos and China.
Well, I've been fortunate enough to work with the several Chinese projects, starting from the one we mentioned and now the latest one that we actually are both involved with. So there is about, 6 or 7 different Chinese projects in total for me. But obviously there is a reason for that, because Chinese, well, they are the people with the know-how. But I think you probably win me on this number of Chinese projects.
Well, it's approximately the same. But now, most importantly, we are working for an excellent project which is called ALPEX Global. It's going to be a trading platform, but many other things. And we are, first of all, now developing very unique NFT collections to support the traders to join the community. Everybody, my colleagues from ALPEX Global, stand up now. Anybody, stand up, ALPEX guys. Hey, stand up. Go talk to these guys, they will explain what we are doing, and most importantly, we are recruiting. Come to join us. It's a great company. It's a great bunch of people. We have a nice office in heart of the Dubai.
But one of the reasons why many of the Chinese, as well as so many other projects as well, are looking into UAE as their new home country or their new office country is obviously for the reasons what UAE has done. In Abu Dhabi, it has been mentioned already, but I have to again mention, ADGM has been making tremendous good work in enabling companies to move to UAE and start their business here. The regulators and the lawmakers are enhancing truly as going forward to all the companies. Dr. Marwan Al-Zarouni and his team in Dubai Blockchain Center, they are actually executing Sheikh Mohammed from Dubai, his vision as in the new gray area of new technologies. Calm Legal Consultants, they are advising and supporting the regulators, the lawmakers, and they are informing all of us. So I think the basics the ground is very solid and steady and easy for all the companies to come from abroad to UAE to join.
One particular thing, or another particular thing I want to say. Even though blockchain, cryptos, we aim to be decentralized, fully decentralized, we are not going to be an isolated island from society. We are and we will collaborate with regulators. UAE is a great example of this again. 2nd of September this year, the first crypto law was announced in UAE. And because of this crypto law, the first exchange, cryptocurrency exchange that fully licensed and fully regulated in here is safe to trade on this platform. good example how regulations and regulators are collaborating with the scene, with the people like us. That's a great thing what's happening in UAE. That's why the whole world is coming now to UAE.
Okay, there is just a few of these new projects and new words to be learned and all of that. So what is the status? Where are we today? And what is your wild guess of where are we heading to?
You've heard all about this if you've been here 2 days already. Metaverse, you can do anything on a virtual environment on Metaverse. Anything you can do online, but beyond that also. So that's one thing. Then NFTs. First time in the history of mankind, you have a right to own. You own a digital asset. Before that, if you publish something online, on internet, you can consider it stolen or misused. But on NFTs, you have digital signature that proves that you are the owner of this asset. That's the amazing thing. That's why it's picking up fast. Different kind of digital assets are jumping into NFTs now. GameFi, more than 2 billion people are active video gamers online. Think of this. Now the biggest trend on GameFi is play to earn. These guys are starting making money when they're having their hobby with them. It's amazing opportunity. 2 billion people jumping into this and rushing into this. Yes?
Teacher, decentralized autonomous organization. Man, have I been learning that.
Right, okay. DAO, as Anita said, decentralized autonomous organization. We heard just a couple of presentations back about the same thing. But yes, this means that the governance system on these platforms will be owned by you, by us, the token owners. We make decisions by voting, having these tokens with us. That's amazing. There's no centralized entity, there's no board, there's no CEO, there's no directors whatsoever. You as a token owner, you participate on decision making with anything happening on these protocols, on these platforms. That's an amazing thing. Decentralized autonomous organization, governance system allows us to do that. DeFi, already mentioned many times, that's the biggest opportunity, taking this to the mainstream along with the GameFi opportunities. But if you combine all this together, you go back to the first icon there, Metaverse. Everything is in Metaverse. Not just that, there are concerts, there are esports, anything you imagine, that's on Metaverse. So Metaverse is probably the biggest buzzword today. But we need to understand opportunities there. Microsoft is going there, Nike is going there, Facebook already changed their name into Meta. Everybody's going there.
I'm just wondering here, the cars of the other exhibition hall done by Vesa Kivinen, our fellow countryman, and Dr. Marwan Azaroni, how will they fly? I mean, that's kind of combining many of these mentioned aspects, right?
Well, first of all, it's a big thing combining this digital world and physical world, and as I said, it's the #1 artist to do that.
I think Pete mentioned in the very beginning something about sex. Is this the time to talk about it?
Okay.
CEX, I mean.
I need to admit, I had a sex transaction this morning. I transacted on Binance centralized exchange, i.e. sex. So even though we are heading towards decentralized environments, decentralized exchanges, we still do these centralized transactions. If it's about the tokens and coins, we do it then on sexes. So sex transactions, we still do those.
Well, this is just, again, one good example of that there is so many words out there. So the terminology is never ending. The projects are so many and so colorful. And the only good advice we can give to everyone to take away from this session is that you really need to do your homework. You really need to understand where you're jumping into. You definitely should do your homework and consider jumping in and joining, like I said, the revolution. It's so exciting and it's so world full of new turns and new, so you know, you hardly can give up. What would you say to someone joining now
Well,
the
yes,
party?
first of all, maybe I'm an example of this all. I started online business 94. I come all the way from there. We fought against all the doubts. The same doubts have been here. But I can tell you one thing, when we change the centralized data model to decentralized data model, opportunities to all of us are 100 times bigger. 100 times bigger than internet. We are giving our money to Facebook and Amazon and those people who say free content to us. No. We will take that content and make money to us. That's what's all about on decentralized data model, decentralized ledger technology, blockchain, cryptos. We own this environment, not these centralized platforms. And that's the biggest message you can take home actually, if you're newbie and you're just jumping into this. And please don't bother, just stay still and come to talk to us, come to talk to Anita and myself. Vesa, the leading crypto artist, is there. He explains about the NFTs and art. We are here for you guys. Come to talk to us.
So I think this is more or less it. We are done with the sofa session without having a sofa. As Pekka said, we will be here all day today. We are happy to talk to anyone who has any questions or wants to hear more about whatever we have to say. You find us in the social media channels, in Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook even, Crypto Trader,
Baba
Blockchain, right, and Crypto Granny with the K. So thank you, Papa, for sharing the stage with me. And thank you everyone for your time. And
thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, there we are. Crypto Granny and Blockchain Papa.
Thank you.
And I really did, we had a little chat earlier on and you know, tell me about, you know, what's the value you're going to share, and they said we're going to be talking about sex, and I actually thought you were talking about sex. But hey, I'm disappointed to a few people who really thought that, but hey, we're very happy that you did share what you had to share, and hopefully we'll see you again in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, hands together for Crypto Granny and Blockchain Papa. Right, we are moving